你们好，你们好吗？你们高兴吗？你们累吗？累。Good. 我是 Ahmad Tajudin. 你们会叫我阿莫，阿莫，比较容易。我从马来西亚来，是马来人，不是华人。谢谢你们来这里听我说的。今天我的题目是 Transforming Vocational Education from Vision to Action. So actually this is what we are doing in Malaysia at the moment, especially for the Ministry of Education. I'm from the education school sector, and there's another sector, we call it higher education. Because in the past we have two ministries. One is Ministry of Education and the other is Ministry of Higher Education. But since May 2013, we have merged, we have recombined the two. So I'm from the school division. So anything about school is under my division, my sector. So the very word vocational, so in Malaysia is not a problem, not like in Singapore. So in Singapore, the word vocational is, we call it poisonous word because people don't accept, but in Malaysia it's still okay. So when I talk about vision to action, actually what we are doing at the moment. This is the third year of our implementation. Yeah? So we started 2012. So globally, we are in world ranking, so number 25. This is 2013 figures. So I think somehow Thailand and Taiwan is not here. Taiwan is here. But in Asia Pacific, Taiwan is number 4 and Malaysia is number 6. But in terms of GDP per capita, I think yours is about what? 40? 40 million. But Malaysia is now is around 12. But in ASEAN, we are number 2 behind Singapore. So this is the picture of our workers' demand today and also in the future. So as for today, we have still shortage in manufacturing, agriculture, construction and the rest. But for the future, we'll be on finance, finance on tourism especially. So this year is our Visit Malaysia year, 2014. So if you have the time, come and have a look in our country. So the rest will be in business, electrical, electronic is still there, healthcare, wholesale, telco, and so on. So under the 10th Malaysia plan, between 2011 to 2015, we still have another year. So one of our target will be to have 40% of our workforce skilled by 2020. So our figure at the moment is 28%. So we need to increase by another 12% within very short time. So one of the way to do it is to, in terms of conversion of our vocational school into colleges. So our vocational school before it offered 2-year program. So we are extending another 2 years. So from school to colleges will be 4-year program. And one of the things that will be included in the 10 Malaysia plan is the Board of Technologies Malaysia. So we have the Board of Engineers So we are creating another board of technologies that will cater for the technologists and the technicians. So this is a very, it will be tabled in Parliament in very near future, maybe in a few months. So the key function of the Malaysian Board of Technologies will be accredit technology and technical program in TVET institution, regulate the conduct and ethics of the technologists and also technicians, promote TVET, and of course, in terms of how to approve, how to register, and so on. So more about MBOT. So the legislation will be under the Act 2011. There will be Technologies and Technician Act that will govern this MBOT. So there will be human resource in terms of those posts in that MBOT, and one of the posts will be from Ministry of Education. And the board will be the signatory of the Sydney Accord and also for the Dublin Accord. So this is how we have transformed our vocational education. So in the past, our school is a 2-year program, but now we move from 2-year into a 4-year program. So we have 3 components here. This one is where we transform our schools from school to colleges. Many students by the end of year 4, they will have their diploma in vocational education. So the other part will be through Blue Ocean Strategy, whereby all the other ministry, they have, like mentioned by my friend Zainuddin, we have 8 ministries and many agencies having institution. So they will also offer our program at their institution. So we are actually optimizing all the resources, all the manpower in our country, providing the same thing for the people, for the rakyat. And the other part is from the private. We selected certain private company, private institutions to offer our program. So this year we have 4. We have 4 private institutions offering our program, one in aircraft maintenance, the other in mechatronics, and also in marine engineering. At the moment, one of the Ministry of Labour, Ministry of Human Resource, through their technical institution, have been offering our program. So we have actually under the Ministry of Education, the TVET program, and also from other ministries. This is for the post-secondary, meaning after year 12. So under the vocational college program, we have 2 types. One is full-time diploma, 4 years, and the other is through apprenticeship. So we have run our program for the last 3 years in many areas under the apprenticeship, which is a shorter program for 2 years. That extends only for 2 years. So this is how we, the structure of our college program. We have 30% on the academics. So for the Malay language, English, we have a third language. Either student can either choose Mandarin or Arabic. So this is the third language that student will undergo, will learn. History, math, science, and also in moral or Islamic education. That will compose of 30%. And the rest of the 70% will be on the vocational cluster. So we have 12 clusters offering altogether 53 programs. For example, electric and electronic cluster. So these are the programs, the courses, electric, electronic, telecommunication, also mechatronic. This is an example for the hospitality. So what are the vocational aspects, the 30%? So as mentioned by my friend Zainuddin, we fulfill all the competencies under National Occupational Skills Standard that was developed by the Ministry of Human Resource. We follow them, we satisfy them. We satisfy their program, their requirement. But at the same time, we want our diploma to also have accreditation from City and Guild London. CIDB is our local accreditation agency, TWI for welding and others. So maybe the Taiwan institution can have a look at our curriculum, and maybe you could also have recognition from the Taiwan agency. Another part will be entrepreneurship element. So we allow our school to have their own business. For instance, they are in culinary, so they can offer culinary services during the students while learning. So we call it earning while learning program. Yeah. So in all subjects, in welding, in automotive, so they can, from outside, they can get the service in our college or making products. So the other part will be on the job training, which is compulsory for 3 months compulsory at the end of year 4. But we allow our students to go to work, to have their on-the-job training during the holiday, during their short semesters. Yeah. And we are looking also, maybe our students can come to Taiwan to do their on-the-job training. Yeah. And vice versa. Yeah. So these are the subjects for the academic component. As I mentioned, so semester 1 to semester 4 will be 6 core subjects, plus focusing on employability skills. Yeah. So I think our friend has talked about the skills for the future. So these are the components for semester 5 to semester 8. So basically, so the year 1 and year 2, we call it preparation program or pre-diploma. At the end of year 2, they will be given Malaysia vocational certificate. So they can either exit here, or they can choose to carry on. And then the other thing is that this is the outcome of the program. So 70% will go to work, 30% for higher study, and then maybe 10% to become entrepreneur. So this is our KPI for this year, 2014, to get enrollment of 7%. Last year we achieved 5%, so this year 7, next year 10. And by 2020 we hope to get 20%. Still low compared to Taiwan, which is around 55%, if I'm not mistaken. Branding is another activity which is very important to make sure vocational education is accepted by the public. So when we talk about branding, it's not about logo, trademark, but more toward service delivery. It's about relationship, about consumer emotional association. This is more important actually. How the customer association that relate to our program, to our school. So good branding experience and so on. So roughly this is the process in order at the end of branding to get the loyalty. For example, those who like Samsung, they will, no matter what, they will still buy a Samsung handphone, or Asus, or Nokia and so on, to get their loyalty. So in our branding process, we say our business is not only to provide access to quality vocational education, but your success is our business. So that's different between providing the education and giving them success. It's very different. So these are some of the brand values from certain school. We have the rational and also the emotional elements. So this is the timeline. And before I end, Malaysia now is undergoing the Malaysian Education Blueprint 2013 to 2025 has been launched by our minister last year. We try to understand the current performance and what are the challenges for the future. So establishing a clear vision for the future. So as for now, in terms of PISA ranking, so Malaysia has not done very well because of the nature of our country between urban, the divide between urban and the rural is quite wide. Comparing to Taiwan, I think you have done very well. I think Taiwan here around number 23, because maybe a small island, so you don't have the challenges as Malaysia face. But we want to improve on our ranking. So we are doing in 3 waves, wave 1, wave 2 and wave 3. We are now in the wave 1. So this year is the second year of our blueprint implementation. So these are the shifts that we want to achieve under the blueprint. So thank you very much. Saya Niman. Bye.
Thank you, Director